This video is a continuation of the video that we filmed before, so be sure to watch that video before we get into this one. So as I said in the last video, Ralph McQuarrie is my favorite artist of all time. He is like Van Gogh to me. I love him, I love his work. So as I said in the last video, my dad's been going to garage sales and estate sales, and he happened to come across these, so he gave some of them to me. But now we have the Return of the Jedi portfolio by Ralph McQuarrie. Magnificent production paintings from the fabulous space epic. 20 dazzling full-color paintings from the sensational space adventure, Star Wars, Return of the Jedi. The incomparable Ralph McQuarrie, who astonished millions with his fantastic paintings from Star Wars and The Empire Strikes Back, has done it again. This amazing collection from the third chapter in the Star Wars saga celebrates all the magic and wonder of distant worlds and the boundless spirit of the imagination. Utterly beautiful and filled with surprises, each incredible painting is suitable for framing. A separate caption sheet adds to the breathtaking thrills of the best portfolio yet, in the greatest space adventure of all time. So this is from 1983. I hope these are in order. They're not in order. Give me a second, I'm gonna put them in order. Wow, we're actually missing a lot. We're just gonna have to deal. So it's basically just going through the movie. So we're starting with 4. Inside the throne room, Jabba the Hutt's favorite musical trio entertains the court. The leggy singer, Cy Snoodles, is accompanied by Max Rebo on the keyboard, an instrument that is part calliope, and part piano. Droopy McCool, the woodwind expert, performs on a clarinet-like instrument. Listening in the background are Salacious Crumb, Hermie Odal, a Jawa, and one of Jabba's elite skiff guards. The burning question is Max Rebo playing with his legs or his arms? The world will never know. And next we have 3PO and R2-D2 paying a visit to the dungeon boiler room in the subterranean depths of Jabba's palace, where droids are taken to be tortured. They're confronted by EV-99, a tall, thin, human-like robot who heads Jabba's droid operations. 3PO is terrified of the awesome Gamorrean guards standing next to him. These huge, powerful creatures are Jabba's personal guards. It is wise to treat them very politely. That's funny. It's funny. Very cool. Luke Skywalker, Chewbacca, and Han Solo, recently released from a state of suspended animation, Carbonite, have been sentenced to death by Jabba the Hutt. Out in the desolate wastes of the Tatooine Desert, the members of Jabba's bizarre court gather at the windows of his immense sail barge to watch the festivities. Suspended above the desert floor on one of the anti-gravity skiffs, our heroes make a desperate stand and battle for their lives against the skiff guards. Pretty good. My favorite McQuarrie paintings are the ones where there's the blue sky, like the pretty blue sky, and then the red just fire and lasers. My favorite painting of all time by Ralph McQuarrie is the AT-ATs, and it's an AT-AT and it's like shooting in the, oh, it's so beautiful. I'll pop it up here. It's amazing. On one of the desert skiffs, Luke, Chewbacca, Han, and Lando Calrissian watch anxiously as Jabba the Hutt's immense sail barge is rocked by explosions and bursts into flame. Oh, I've seen this painting before. This is a very famous McQuarrie painting. Inside the vast docking bay of the unfinished Death Star, Darth Vader and one of his officers deplane from the Imperial shuttle, followed by several of the Emperor's dignitaries. The Galactic Emperor's guards, ominously cloaked and helmeted in red, watch every movement carefully. Very creepy. This is a very creepy painting. Vader looks awesome. Oh, this is my favorite scene in Return of the Jedi. On the heavily forested moon of Endor, our heroes have been captured by a scouting party of Ewoks, small furry creatures with huge eyes. Thinking that C-3PO is a god, the Ewoks bear him ceremoniously back to their village in an improvised throne. Han Solo, a mere mortal, is carried trussed and hanging from a pole. As you can tell here in the back. Wow. This one is good. This one is so good. Dressed in a simple forest outfit made of leather, Princess Leia enters the Ewok village with Wicket, who has befriended her. Built high above the ground in the giant trees of Endor, the village is made up of mud huts and a central square connected by rickety walkways. Other Ewoks come running to find out what news Wicket has and to get a closer look at the princess. That's so cute. Deep in the forest of Endor, the rebels must infiltrate the Imperial bunker in order to deactivate the energy shield protecting the Death Star. The Ewoks have been persuaded to help. Armed with their primitive weapons, a catapult, bows and arrows, spears, and an airborne battalion, they take on the Imperial all-terrain scout transports, the giant AT-ST walkers. These are so cool. These are some of my favorite ships. Oh my god, you could see the Ewoks with wings. In the Emperor's throne room on the new and powerful Death Star, Luke Skywalker, having finished his training as a Jedi Knight, must once again do battle with Darth Vader. Lightsaber against lightsaber. Luke must use all of his powers of concentration to try and defeat the man who says he is his father. This painting is amazing. I mean, wow. This might be my new favorite. I mean, the clash of the lightsabers and how the sabers look like flames. It's beautiful. Wow, hats off to Ralph McQuarrie for that one. Number 16, a confrontation in the throne room between the Emperor, the supreme ruler of the Galactic Empire, and Luke Skywalker. Although he appears to be a small, shriveled old man, the Emperor, with his piercing yellow eyes and his aged face covered partially by a cloak, has strange and secret powers that he uses to make men do his bidding. That's so creepy. Ralph McQuarrie is so talented. He makes paint look like electricity. So good. So haunting. It's so haunting. Number 17, we have a beautiful A-Wing, 2 A-Wings, and a bunch of Star Destroyers. 2 Rebel A-Wing fighter planes race toward the Death Star, while in the distance a fleet of Imperial Star Destroyers awaits the forthcoming battle. How does he do that? There's so much detail in just the smallest areas. McQuarrie is amazing. I'm actually curious how large these paintings actually are whenever he painted them, because these are just tiny. Like, you can't understand the scale of how much he painted. So I'd be curious to see the originals. An armada of rebel cruisers, led by Admiral Akbar's flagship, are silhouetted against the monumental surface of the Death Star. 2 A-Wing fighters in the distance are speeding to a confrontation with the Imperial Star Destroyers. Oh, so this is literally the same painting, just from different perspectives. That's really cool. Which have already opened fire on one of the rebel ships. The glowing surface of Endor provides a small amount of reflected light as the rebel and Imperial forces engage in a deadly space battle. That's awesome. Here we go. Ooh, ooh. Wow. The B-Wing fighter, a new type of ship with pilot and co-pilot enclosed in a command pod on one wing, becomes part of the massive rebel attack on the Death Star. One of the B-Wings has just scored a shattering, explosive hit on an Imperial Star Destroyer. Yeah, to say the least. Oh my god, look at that. How does he do it? How does Ralph McQuarrie do it? This is why we love him. Inside the dome-shaped interior of the gigantic, unfinished Death Star, the Millennium Falcon, piloted by Lando Calrissian, and a tiny X-Wing fighter try to score a direct hit on the Death Star's reactor. If successful, they will break the Empire's grip on the galaxy once and for all. And boy, did they. Just knowing how big the Millennium Falcon is just goes to show how big the reactor is. Oh, I wish I had all of the paintings. You know, my dad actually had 2 Return of the Jedis, I believe. So I'll have to call him and see if he has the other numbers. And if he has them, then I will make a video of the ones we missed. These are so cool. So that was the Star Wars Return of the Jedi portfolio by Ralph McQuarrie. I really want to frame all of these and put them somewhere in my house or like on a wall or something. And let me know which painting was your favorite. They're all so cool. But my favorite is probably the one between Luke and Vader in Palpatine's weird cave. Anyways, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, night, wherever you are, and may the force be with you always.